I figured I'd need to elaborate on a previous point in the video of the need to do something coming back, why that irritates me. With the whole, I feel relieved, I don't require the need to have sex being like, and then like that going away so quickly is part of like a counter for it. You need to understand part of like what goes through my head is I don't like being controlled by things. Like I don't like having something that needs to be refilled. I hate the crap out of how, I feel hungry. I'll eat something, but then I'll feel hungry again. And it's just like, well, why'd I do it then? The only reason I can actually eat a decent amount is because I can realize, okay, so I'm actually spending a certain amount of that nutrients on, body part stuff, And there's a certain amount of me that wants to figure out the most efficient way to actually have that happen, high in carbs, high in protein or whatnot, to actually have, like, being able to build stuff up and actually have repairing stuff and like, maybe enough vegetables so, like, the sort of stuff in meat doesn't make me go schizophrenic with how much dopamine and serotonin is actually freaking out the production of. So yes, meat will improve serotonin and other brain chemical rates to the point where honestly, you will look like, one of those crazy people in movies that's writing all over the walls. But like, that's the only way I could get to the point where, I could actually, eat and not be like, no, I'm going to try to see how much longer I can go without food. Because I hate the fact that, it's just, I'll eat, then I'll get hungry again. That just seems wasteful. And with sleep, do you know how much that ticked me off that I'd have to do that every day? Do you know how much it's like, ugh. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm getting tired again. Well, what do I get out of sleep? It's just, it's a waste of time. Yes, it feels good, but I'm not getting anything from it. Like, that's kind of why I would go for a few years without really sleeping, if at all possible. I also had terrible nightmares, which helped on that sort of decision-making process. But it's the fact that like any help of it would go away. The help was not going to stick around long enough. It was too temporary. And that annoyed me because I'd be controlled by my requirement to find somewhere to sleep, controlled by my need to sort of like, eat. And of course, yeah, controlled by the fact that, if I don't find something to do with, like, to vent that stuff, I'll start having dreams. And, I don't like that. I just don't like something I don't understand controlling my life. And this is the sort of thing that I've tried looking into to figure out how to understand it. And I can't find any sort of benefits or positive stuff from it. Like, what the heck do I get out of it? Nothing. I just get something invented, and then, maybe a need for it later, and that just ticks me off, and I don't want anything to do with that. Never mind that, like, in real life, I'm never going to get good enough stuff anyways. Like, seriously, I've met the people or whatnot. I've tried to think, well, maybe I can train them to be good enough. No, that's not going to happen. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's either you get, like, a virgin who's not interested in being trained. If it's good enough for the first time, they will think it's always going to be good and they don't have to improve. Or if it sucks the first time, well, and you do the first time, they're not really going to want to do anything with you again. Or if you get somebody that's been around a bit, they usually got their own habits and they're not really interested in changing or improving themselves. Or so I've noticed. And again, the control freak side of me is also like, no, I can't let that control me. I must control me. And this is a point nobody ever gets. And also with the whole rape situation or whatnot, and why, like, I really would never actually be able to do that, is because, the amount of effort I'd have to go through to actually set up so it'd be maintainable as a long situation. It wouldn't just be one stupid night where I get everything screwed over sort of thing. It's to the point where it's like, well, what the hell am I getting out of that? What am I getting out of that? And yet everybody is scared. Whenever I try talking about any subject that even narrows this, it's like, oh no, this means Katrina shall, like, put me in a cage or something. I don't know, it's... And, like, even more, it's like, people are far more confident in my knowledge, actually, be able to talk to people about the act, to get the act. I understand the act. I don't understand everything society's put around it, or what people put around it themselves. And that also just irritates me, because the most I get from the act is just a bit of relief, a bit of relaxing. And honestly, there's other ways I get that, but it doesn't sort of that same relief feeling, but doesn't sort of relieve the sort of. And this is why it's so hard to talk about. Because honestly, I don't think you're going to get this. I don't think I'm going to communicate my point to you. I mean, and it's the same thing for like when I was trying to explain why I didn't like sleep and why I wanted to get out of eating. I could not convey the sort of like senseless feeling it has to it. It's like, well, I'm just going to want to do it later again, and that's not really satisfying when you know, like, you know, within like, you know, an hour, 2 hours, 2 days, weeks, you're going to be wanting to do that again. It's like, okay, can't I just figure out some other answer that doesn't temporarily give joy, something that gives more of an eternal bliss?